Hey, well, good evening and welcome in, Muhls fans. Welcome to the coverage as Muhlenberg basketball traveling this evening to Berks Catholic in one of the biggest games of the season for each side. I'm Ryan Lineweaver alongside Jerry Galliff. And tonight your Muhls have a chance to make a statement. They come in at 14-4 overall, 7-2 in Division I play, sitting just one game behind the first place Berks Catholic Saints. Those Saints are 13-2 overall, 8-1 in divisional play, but this is a revenge game here for the Muhls. This is a measuring stick game. Most importantly, this is a trying to keep your Berks 1 hopes alive here type of game, and it should be an electric atmosphere, most importantly right here in Reading. It is jam-packed here at Lloyd Wolf Gymnasium, home of the Berks Catholic Saints and former home of the Holy Name Blue Jays once upon a time.
Blue Jays. It was Blue Jays.
It
was,
Jays.
wasn't it?
They sure were. Because then you also had the Cardinals of Central Catholic. So
there's a symmetry there.
They had to split the difference when they merged and called themselves the Saints. What a back to the Muhls. What a season it's been for Coach Matt Flowers and this Muhlenberg team. They're averaging just under 65 points per game. They've beaten Reading at Reading, 71-68, in one of the most thrilling comebacks that you'll ever see. They knocked off Wilson in overtime, 62-59. They've dismantled teams like Allen, Hempfield, Central Dauphin, Governor Mifflin twice. This team has proven that they can play with almost anyone in Berks County in District 3 and, quite frankly, statewide as well. But there is one team that's gotten the better of them this year, and it's the team that they are facing here this evening. December 19th, back at our own gym, Berks Catholic came in, handed us a 69-55 loss. Kingston McCoy went for a brand-new career high, 40 points, 7 3-pointers. It was a performance for the ages. The Muhls just did not have an answer that night. So tonight is all about redemption. So just to put things in perspective here, coming in, since the BCIAA has come into existence back in 2003-2004, Muhlenberg has never won that type of championship, not once over 2 decades. And this year is the best chance that they're going to have in a long, long time. Berks Catholic currently 8-1 in Division I. Muhlenberg and Reading 7-2. Wilson 7-3. A win tonight would pull us into a tie for first place with the Saints. And this is what makes it even bigger. There are 4 crucial games over the next 6 days that will help decide this race. Tonight, we're at Berks Catholic. Tomorrow, Reading goes to Wilson. Saturday, Reading comes here to Berks Catholic in what should be a really interesting contest. And then next Tuesday, Wilson comes to Muhlenberg in what should help settle the score here in Berks 1. Berks Catholic, they have the inside track. They win out, they're good. They win Berks 1, likely the number 1 seed in BCIAA playoffs, and they are, figuring out their own destiny. But if the Muhls are able to come on the road here and pick apart the Saints, they're able to flip the script a little bit. They would then control their own destiny heading into that Wilson game, splitting pretty much across the board. Coach Flowers called the Reading game a must-win, and we got it done tonight is another one. So this Muhlenberg team, if you haven't noticed, built on balance. You have a handful of juniors doing really well, sharing that scoring load all season. You have Eli Hemmings, 6'4" junior wing, leading scorer at about 16.7 points per game, hitting nearly 6 buckets from the field. He's getting to the rim, finishing through contact. Coach Flowers calls him the go-to guy, and he earned that title. The game last time that we were on the call against the Red Knights of Reading, he came alive in the second half, scoring 21 of his 23 points. Wasn't enough in the end, but you can see that type of explosive work out of Hemmings. You also have L.J. Armstrong, 5'10" junior point guard, averaging 13.2 points per game. He's the engine that helps make this offense run. Coach Flowers described him as explosive. He gets downhill. He can knock down threes, finds his teammates. And then you have the factor that him and Hemmings have been running since 5th grade together. That chemistry is real, and it shows up on the court. You also have guys like Nelson Malave, the junior guard transferring in from Reading, averaging about 11.6 per game. You have Jaden Perez, 6'3", 240. Senior forward, gives him a little bit of a physical presence inside. The son of Reading High head coach Rick Perez. Comes from a big basketball family, so Jaden usually one of the first guys off the bench. And then you have Mikey Miller in the starting lineup as well. And look, Mikey's a big vocal leader, says that he's the leader by example. He had a couple of threes last game against Reading, and then you have Josh Miller as well as a sophomore. So we have a deep roster, a talented roster. And we'll talk more about it here after the invocation. Play ball. There's 8 minutes up on the board, just about ready to get underway. We turn back to that first meeting as Berks Catholic pulling out a 14-point victory at Muhlenberg. Kingston McCoy putting on a clinic. 7 3-pointers, 6 from inside the arc, 7 of 8 from the line. He had 11 in the first quarter, and I actually pulled up the stat sheet from that one. He had 11 in the first, 8 in the second, 10 in the third, and then another 11 in the fourth quarter. Just one quarter where he didn't score in double digits. Very even across the board. A fantastic game for him. But trying to match that was Malave, somebody to keep an eye on. He finished with 25 points. R.J. Armstrong with 17. Kingston McCoy just got things going early. He came right down the court, hit an NBA-style three from way beyond the arc to start things off. He had a couple of contested shots to start it. And Muhlenberg just never able to really get their footing across the board. Second thing that needs to happen here this evening, all three of the Muhls juniors need to get it going tonight. That's Malave, that's Armstrong, and that is the person taking the tip right here, Eli Hemmings. Hemmings wins the tip all the way back to Collado, and we are underway. Muhls also need to limit some turnovers here this evening, and they have to start fast on the road as well. They'll go Hemmings against McCoy to start. Out beyond the arc, a three. That one off the mark there by Malave. Muhls coming out in a 3-2 defense, it looks like, as they do have Malave kind of floating well on top of the arc there. Nice quick passing here by Berks Catholic out to McCoy. McCoy too strong on a three. Armstrong weaving through traffic, taking it directly to the hoop, picks up his dribble. And Malave will restart the offense. Harper, McCoy, Welker, Altamar, and Gisa, your starters here for the Saints. Armstrong pulling up. That one left short. But Armstrong, Hemmings, Malave, Miller, and Collado, your starters for the Mules. Look down low. Now they'll kick it outside. Left corner pocket three. That one too strong. Miller the board. That one's stolen away. It's Malave trying to get a little greedy. Picking it off was Harper. Harper called for the offensive foul. I'm not sure if they know about it yet. It's an offensive foul and a turnover. And the first refuse suck of the evening coming from the Berks Catholic crowd. Foul and the turnover. Both sides looking to get their footing here. Armstrong trying to use a double screen. Finds Miller. Miller up top. That one too strong. Probably should have been a dead ball rebound. Belongs to Berks Catholic anyway. McCoy with the hand in his face immediately. Trying to close out. Now McCoy, fadeaway jumper. That one short. Nice clean look, though, from the senior. Armstrong has a good matchup here against Altamar. Instead, Malave drives left, kicks. Now will be Hemmings going all the way around. Drops it to Collado. Collado into the paint. Collado tied up in the paint. Has it stripped away by Gisa. Just ripped it right away from him. Into the corner, Altamar, a three. Altamar with the triple. Malave will answer at the other end. And apologies on the broadcast here, trying what we can. It's a foul on the way up. Will send, I believe, Gisa to the line. The foul's going to be on Collado. That's his first. And we're up here on the stage, and they have all sorts of extra seating set up along the stage here. So we will occasionally have a passerby as Gisa unable to get started at the line. Berks Catholic coming in, riding an 8-game winning streak. Their last loss coming back in December, right on December the 29th, they lost to Reading. Haven't lost since. Jaden Perez into the contest. Using that big body turnaround jumper, won't get it off the glass. Miller strips it away. Ball still loose on the floor. Armstrong picks it up. Armstrong into the lane, has to kick it out. A three by Malave. Wild sequence of events there. Ends up keeping the Mules on top. It's 6-3. Three from the other corner. Won't get it done. They'll look down low for Gisa, and Gisa lays it in. Mikey Miller driving. Rejected by the underside of the basket. Harper grabs the board, nearly stripped away by Armstrong. And BC will hold it and set up the half court. They're not taking many chances here. Guarding out well past the three-point line, especially for McCoy. Hemmings will move Perez off of him, and instead Perez late rotating to Gisa, who lays it in for his second. Perez thinking three, takes a little bit of contact, picks up the dribble, needs to find some help. Malave, Harper draped on him. Now back down to Perez. Perez on that left block, high floater gets it to go. Jaden Perez, welcome to the game. Puts the Mules on top. He does have that buttery touch, both up close and from beyond the arc. I'll kick it out. Harper a three. That one's short. Perez the board. Thinks about an outlet. Thinks twice. Malave instead. Little stutter step out to Armstrong for three. LJ Armstrong with his first bucket. Won't call him Justin anymore. He goes by LJ on the roster. Gisa now playing in the middle of that triangle out of the zone. McCoy will kind of slouch into the corner a bit. They lose the handle. It will stay with the Saints. About 6 minutes gone by, and if you're the Mules, you have to be pretty happy with how this is starting out. Been able to mostly contain Kingston McCoy. They're going to try to draw up a play for him there. Instead, they'll have to go to the secondary option. Perez will be called for the personal as Gisa goes to work on him, and will go back to the line for his second trip. Gisa to shoot two. Missed the first. His first time up. 0 for 3 now. BC about a 72% free throw shooting team. Gisa on the year, uncharacteristic here so far. About a 79% free throw shooter. And finally hits 1 of 4. Driving in once again, Malave. That one, clean swipe. Excellent job by Altamar getting all basketball as he patrolled into the lane. Once again, BC trying to pass around that zone defense, looking a little bit more like a 2-3. Hutchinson. It's a nice job by Carmelo Harper getting on the stat sheet. It's now 11-10. Just a 1-point advantage here for the Mules. Pull up Jay. Won't get it to go. It's Malave, a little too strong. McCoy basically facing a double team at the top of that zone. He's not going to get much accomplished up there. Turnaround jumper in the paint. That one also off. Hutchinson grabs the board. That one tipped, and it'll stay with the Mules. Josh Miller also into the game alongside Ryan Hutchinson. Oh yeah, checking in for BC. Allow all the passers-by to get on through to their seats. Into the backcourt for Malave. Malave's biggest game of the season came against Berks Catholic, scoring 25 back on the 19th of December. He also had 22 against Exeter when he put in 4 threes. Hemmings won't get it to go. Tries going back up with his own miss. Eli Hemmings has also been quiet here in the first quarter. He will go to the free throw stripe. Hemmings averaging 16.7 points per game. To the stripe. Swishes the first. Hemmings about a 55% free throw shooter. Shoots better away than he does at home. Hits both as a result. 3-point advantage now. The Muhls coming out in a 2-2-1 full court press. McCoy trying to drive, has to kick. Harper drives baseline, and we're going to have a blocking foul called on Hutchinson. For Hutchinson, that's foul number 1. And we're going to have a timeout here by Matt Flowers. 30-second variety. 6.4 seconds remaining. And honestly, it's a pretty good timeout here by Matt Flowers. Try to call exactly what you're looking for. You know, are you going to double Kingston McCoy right off the inbounds? You know, how are you going to play Kingston is probably how they're going about looking at it, because they've done an incredible job here so far. He's scoreless in the first 7 minutes, 55.6 seconds.
54.6, but
53.6 actually. Now that I'm doing the right math. 53.6 seconds.
53.6.
There you go.
See, you rushed.
I did.
So did I.
Panic. The panic.
It's because you always have to be so right, Ryan.
Try to be precise. Looking for McCoy. They won't get it to him. Now they will. McCoy, a 3. That one off the mark. Hemmings will just chuck it the length, and look out if you're standing up top here. Lucky fan gets a ball. The Muhls lead after 1. Quiet night so far from Eli Hemmings. Quiet night so far from Kingston McCoy as he goes scoreless in that first quarter. And the Muhls with a 3-point advantage after 1. Well, if you're craving the best burgers in Berks, make sure that you check out Birdie's Inn in Exeter. For over 180 years, they've been a local favorite. Come taste why they won the 2025 Best Bar Food Award. Their famous hand-pressed burgers and house-smoked kielbasa made from a 200-year-old recipe. That recipe is older than the business, Jerry.
Well, you know, if that's what's on the website, then that's what's on the website.
How old is John that he has a 200-year-old recipe?
John is 400.
Is that a family recipe from John?
Yes.
Okay.
John is
okay, that checks out a little bit more.
Patty
He's had
is a very young 29.
His family has had that recipe in the family, but they have not had birdies for 180 years.
Not yet.
All right. Kick back at the newly updated bar. Stay cozy on their massive heated year-round deck with live music, trivia, and wings available every night. There's always a reason to visit. This week, what day is today? Thursday? Right now you're looking at Boombox Bingo taking place. You also have Nicole Stump returning to the deck tomorrow evening from 7 to 10, and Cooler Full of Beer on Saturday, which I'm assuming is a band and not just how you're receiving your beer that night.
That is my cousin's band.
That's Birdie's Inn, 160 Old Friedensburg Road, 5 points in Exeter. Have fun, be kind. Back underway here. So once again, Berks Catholic struggling to pick apart this defense, and finally, little late rotation, strong 3 that time, and tipped out of bounds by Gisa. It'll belong to the Muhls. Perez, Miller, Malave, Armstrong, and Hemmings on the court in their road yellows this evening. Hemmings driving left, has the kick. Perez, a wide open 3. That one tipped ahead. Berks Catholic, not much going in transition. Nice job by the Muhls defense getting back. It's all about patience here for Berks Catholic, just passing around that zone until they get a good look. Not trying to force anything. Eventually, somebody's going to have to break it, and that time a little step-in corner jumper is going to do just that as Harper, his second bucket for 4. Armstrong driving in, draws contact from Altamar. Armstrong to the paint. He'll step up to the stripe, looking for two. Armstrong with the triple in the first quarter. Rattles in the first. Armstrong about a 66.7% free throw shooter. In layman's terms, he makes 2 out of every 3. That's math I can do.
Well done, kid.
It's both. Their past 4 points coming from the charity stripe helps stretch the Muhls' lead back to 3. And we're going to have a foul here, I believe on Miller. That'll be his first. First team foul of the second quarter for the Muhls. Little backdoor cut that time, but right into a double team. That one tipped away. McCoy looking down low in the baseline. Gisa doubled up immediately. McCoy, big pump fake. He's got nowhere to go. He has to go cross court. Harper driving baseline. Floater won't go. Hemmings the board and tipped away. Right in front of Paul Roberts over there. I don't think he was well positioned to catch that ball. He's got his phone in one hand tweeting.
He
or
has
Xing
a lot of
or Xing or I don't know what they call it these days.
Yeah, I don't either. I still say tweeting.
Armstrong drives. A little step back J by Armstrong. Muhls up to a 5-point advantage, their largest of the evening. 5:40 left here. Kick it around, oh yeah. As his drive stopped. And again, BC just trying to get it figured out. We're going to have a foul down here on the Muhls. And I believe it's on Hemmings. His first, team second. BC will get it underneath. I mean, as a result of this, you're looking at a relatively slow-paced contest. And McCoy steps on the sideline. Turnover for the Saints. They have frustrated him so far. Scoreless through the first 10.5 minutes of this game. Yeah, that zone defense working to perfection. BC still lining up in man-to-man. Armstrong looking to play the two-man game with Miller. It works to perfection. Straight ahead three by Miller won't go. Right idea by Armstrong. He drew that trailing defender with him. Miller was wide open. Three launched as Miller slow to rotate again. Not even sure if that was his responsibility up top. Doesn't matter all that much. Malave kicks to Miller. Now he'll get it back in the corner. Thought he would get it back in the corner. Instead, it touches off of him out of bounds. 4:42 left here in the second. This is like the polar opposite of the pace that we experienced against Reading. That was breakneck from the opening tip. It's McCoy being hounded by Hemmings. Hemmings reaching that arm out. McCoy slaps it away. Gisa leaves it short on the doorstep. Malave weaving through traffic. One on everyone. Malave, his first bucket here in the second. He now has 8. And the lead's back to 7, which is the largest Mule lead. Gisa flirting with a half-court violation, or backcourt violation. Instead turns it over. Miller to Miller. Too strong. Nice job by Gisa getting a palm on it, getting it back to Harper. And Armstrong nearly diving into the crowd. Immediately, Mikey Miller and Josh Miller going over to help him up. Altamar will check back in for BC. He'll take the place of Oya. Again, working that zone defense. They're trying to get Kingston McCoy down on the post. He does have a size advantage down there. He's still asking for it. Now he should get it. Now he does, finally. They double him immediately. Nice job by Miller holding court. Altamar a three. Too strong. Miller will go chase after it and tiptoe to stay in bounds. Just over 3 to play in the first half. 7-point advantage here for the Muhls. There's been a suffocating defense here. As Malave looking for a little pick and roll action. Instead, it'll go up with the left, clangs it off the backboard. McCoy immediately doubled, and Armstrong called for the foul. For Armstrong, that's number 2. Team's 4th here in the second. That was their last foul to give, as Perez will take the place of Armstrong, I believe. And we're going to have some chatter here between Armstrong and McCoy. Making sure that they keep their chatter to a minimum, please. So BC trying to mix things up a little bit. Kingston McCoy more or less playing an option, trying to run that baseline. And instead, that one too strong. Hemmings ahead of everyone, trying to throw it baseline. I believe it's tipped and it stays. And wait, Stripes are going to get together. And you got one referee very definitive on that call. He's going to say, no. It went off a Muhlenberg hand out of bounds. It was tipped on the way out. Hard to see exactly whose hand had gotten on it. 2 of the refs kind of guessing. Third one, got it right. Very definitive. It'll belong to the Saints. McCoy now will move back out up top. Malave will work on him. And Gisa, too many steps. It has been a frustrating night here for the Berks Catholic offense, as they have just not figured out a way around this zone. They've tried Kingston up top. They've tried him in the corner. They've tried him running baseline, trying to post up, which, honestly, I think that they probably need to continue trying. Hemmings up and over. It'll be a dead ball. Man, oh man. You're going to have to go back a while to find the last time that Kingston McCoy was shut out in a first half. Once again, hounding defense. And Hemmings and Altamar both going after it. I believe they're going to say that it's off of Altamar. Another turnover here for BC with 1:26 left. You're the Muhls. Try to hold on to it a little bit. Going for Perez. Gisa a little more fleet of foot. But so far for BC here in this second quarter, it's just that baseline jumper by Carmelo Harper, and that's it. That's all the scoring that they've had here in the second. 1 minute remaining here. Miller going against Altamar, trying to back him in. Miller, turnaround, fadeaway, jumper, rolls, probably touches every part of that rim and won't drop. Let's see if the Muhls can hold on here for the remaining 40 seconds of the second quarter. I think part of it is just frustration on BC's portion as Kingston McCoy has his pocket pick. Hemmings behind his back to Malave. Little razzle-dazzle there. It's a 9-point advantage. BC going to hold for one. Trying to chip it back just a little bit. Looking down on that baseline. That one's short. And it's going to belong to the Muhls with 4.5 seconds left as it goes off of McCoy.
That pass before, very Magic Johnson-esque.
The last time that I can find, now, again, this is just me, as Armstrong driving in, gets it to go before the half ends. These Muhls are all jacked up on Mountain Dew. 23-12 at the break. The Muhls putting on an absolute defensive clinic here in the first half. Just 2 points in the second quarter for BC. They didn't visit the free throw line. They had one bucket, period, going up against that 2-3 zone. Heck of a job here by the Muhls. They hold Kingston McCoy scoreless in the first half. And again, it is just me. I utilize AI as a tool here. And I asked Gemini, hey, Gemini, I pay for the pro version, so I may as well.
Yes.
When's the last time that Kingston McCoy was held scoreless? The last time that he was held scoreless in the first half for Berks Catholic that Gemini could find, and again, grain of salt, but I'm going to trust it as the truth because I don't know otherwise, was January 27th. 1 year ago, basically, 1 year and 2 days ago, he was held scoreless in the first half against Reading High.
That's good enough for me.
That's good enough for me. Berks Catholic trailed 26-21 at the break. However, he came alive in the third quarter, scoring 12 of his 16 in that period. So the Muhls will need to come out firing on all cylinders in the second half as well and really just putting the clamps on it because what they're doing so far is working.
But we know who the other coach is. And we know that the other coach.
Yeah, Snip ain't bad.
Yeah, he saw it. He's going to correct. They better have the answer.
Snip ain't bad.
Nah, he's all right.
At least for the first half here. Man, oh, man. It has been just an absolutely great first half. Malave leading the way for the Muhls with 10. Armstrong with 9. Hemmings with 2. Jaden Perez with 2 for Berks Catholic. 5 for Johnny Gisa, 4 for Harper, and 3 for Altamar. And that's all the scoring, folks. Like I said, just a 2-point second quarter here for BC as they go in scratching their heads. As you get to witness how many different classes of cheerleaders here. As you got BC, you got Loyola, you got all sorts of, from, little bips, my daughter's age, all the way through high school.
A bunch of girls on that floor.
So enjoy that for now. I'll take a quick break, rest my voice. But 23-12, Muhlenberg leading here at the break. They have some more work to do in the second half, but a tremendous, tremendous defensive effort in the first for the Muhls has them on top here on the road. We'll be right back on the Muhls Sports Network.
You're watching the Muhls Sports Network on Jerry Gallup Media.
Welcome back. A masterclass of a first half here from the Muhls. Just 12 points up on the board for the Saints, including just 2 in the second quarter. As the Muhls, and that suffocating 2-3 defense that they've been coming out with, BC just, again, kind of poking, prodding a little bit. And honestly, it gets boring after a while. I've been on the offensive end trying to go against a zone defense. You know, I remember growing up, middle school, Donegal always played a 2-3 zone. Whenever you went down to play Donegal, you had to learn, all right, this is how you go and break a press. This is how you break a zone defense. And eventually it just gets really boring because you're poking and prodding, looking for weaknesses in the zone. And really it, depends on Muhlenberg being lazy on rotations. It depends on a little bit of movement from BC, quick passing, trying to break it. And, after a while, you kind of get lulled into, all right, well, how many times can we pass around the arc? All right, we'll pass to the, the triangle there in the middle, flashing up top. That's great, that's fine. But eventually you're just like, man, I really just want to shoot. And you just can't. It's been double teams outside the three-point arc as the Muhls have really just put the clamps on everything that BC has tried to do here. Loose ball as McCoy will go after it. McCoy will get his first bucket.
Uh-oh.
That'll make him pretty happy. Armstrong trap baseline. Little dribble handoff with Hemmings. Hemmings gets a nice screen, will drive in. Looking for the tough bucket. Draws the contact, grabs his own miss. Stays down on the post. Now he'll kick out. Malave a three, too strong. Welker the board. Right into the zone defense. Looks like maybe a little bit closer to a 3-2 at this point. Man, now you have Armstrong trying to guard in the middle against Giesa. That's not going to be sustainable. They'll kick it out to the side. Harper a three. That time not quite as sharp. And the lead's trimmed to 6. Quick 5-0 spurt here to open up in the first 90 seconds or so. Muhlenberg looking to break down Harper. Hands off to Armstrong, sets a screen. Armstrong into the paint. Armstrong a floater. Saints pass it around here. Looking to go down low. Collado against Gisa, and Gisa won't get it to go. Instead, McCoy grabs the board, fouled. To the stripe he goes. Hemmings his second. McCoy to the line. This is pretty much what you're looking to avoid if you're the Mules. Yeah, the first time that Kingston has been held scoreless in a first half in 1 year and 2 days, as history would have it. It's both. The All-State pick and Colgate commit. Looking to get fired up here to start the third. Muhlenberg step back. That one hangs on the rim, won't drop. And I believe that we're going to have an out of bounds here as Miller touched it while on the end line. The zone not quite as sharp here in the early goings. Lost a little bit of that intensity as Harper straight ahead three. Armstrong grabs the board. And that one, maybe just a slight lack of a rotation from Hemmings. Armstrong has it stripped away, able to let loose of it. Miller drops it on the doorstep for Collado, who can't finish. Nothing doing so far here for the Mules. Nearly 3 minutes gone by. Now the defense showing a little bit more pressure as Miller itching for the steal instead of double team, triple team. Inside the arc this time for Harper. Armstrong grabs the miss. Armstrong looking ahead, sees four white jerseys. Instead, will pass around to Muhlenberg. Muhlenberg, little Euro step around with the left. Muhlenberg with a dozen now. Then the first points for the Mules here in the second half are officially up on the scoreboard. It extends the lead back to 6. Now the Mules seem a little bit settled in. Harper looking down low. Instead, the Gisa lays it in. And again, that's that quick passing. Able to catch the Mules out of position. And passing's always faster than dribbling. Teach my 8-year-old that. Muhlenberg looking for some marching orders. Picks up his dribble. Miller looking down low as it swiped Gisa. Looked like a perfect pass right to him. It was in the direction of Collado. Now the Mules seem to be on their toes here in the deep 2-3 zone. Altamar across to Harper, who lays it in. Harper now with 9 to lead the Saints. Gisa right behind him with 7. And the lead is just 2. It was an 11-point advantage. It's an 11-2 run here for the Saints, opening up the third. Looking down low, and Harper will be called for the personal here. For Harper, I believe that's number 2. Perez will be back in, as will Josh Miller. Armstrong had a pick, and I believe that we're going to have a foul here on the floor. If it's on Altamar, that's number 3. Perez has the size advantage, trips, falls, coughs it up. Swinging around, McCoy, a 3. Perez grabs it ahead. Hemmings, the hoop and the harm. Hemmings his first bucket from the field. And he'll go to the stripe looking for the 3-point play. Foul will be on Gavin Welker, his first. Hemmings hit both of his attempts from the stripe, his first and only trip there this evening. Misses McCoy the board. (27-23), looking to chip into that was Altamar. Short changes from beyond the arc. Malave with his left. Can't finish at the rim. Harper, a pretty darn good ball handler here for the defending district champion Saints. It's Hemmings. Active hands, tips it away. Drives, kicks baseline. Armstrong takes it in, loses the handle that time, coughs it up. McCoy will scoop it and walk it up. Muhls can't allow many freebies. Harper, step back. Harper, the miss from the right elbow. Miller in. Miller! Showing a little bit of fire. Josh Miller, his first bucket. He'll go to the line looking for the 3-point play. It's on Welker. That's number 2. And now that is the 4th and final foul that the Saints could give. Next one will send the Muhls to the bonus. The Muhls not in such fear. So now they crack the 30-point mark. They'll double team McCoy in the half court. Looking down low for Harper. Harper makes no mistake. Harper now in double digits with 11. The kick to Miller. Miller short. And not too shabby here for Berks Catholic at all this year. They're missing Jeremiah Kamara, by the way. Transferred from Reading High. Tore his meniscus in the season opener. Led Reading in scoring with 14 points a game. His dad was the former Reading coach. Ended up coming to BC. Harper has to go off of him out of bounds into the Berks Catholic bench. They try to help up Harper, and Mikey Miller needs to be pulled away a bit. And it's the Berks Catholic students being escorted out here. Basically told all these students, you say nothing, you do nothing. If they're Muhlenberg and Reading fans got into it the last time that we broadcast post-game. A couple of one-winged birds, as Jerry would say, as Perez a little strong. That's the end of the third. Once again, no breaks, Jerry. All gas, no breaks in that third quarter. Whew.
Ryan, it's 8:21. We're almost done.
Oh, my
game.
God. I might see my kids before they go to bed. How? This never happens, Jerry.
Tony, keep them up.
The Muhls struggling on offense that quarter. Just 7 points for them, outscored by Berks Catholic by 6. They trimmed that 11-point advantage down to 3 at least on multiple occasions, and now you're looking at just a 5-point lead here for the Muhls going into the fourth quarter. If you're Berks Catholic, you have to be pretty happy with where you're at, all things considered, don't you, Jerry?
Down 11 to down 5, yeah. Yeah, you chipped away 6. You do that again, you win by 1. There's the math.
There you go. That's that Michigan education that you got there.
That's that Battle Creek, Michigan
Battle
public
Creek, Michigan.
School education.
I went to Elko, so you can tell where my education got me.
Has something to do with cow udders.
That high school was surrounded on all 4 sides by cornfields.
What did I say to you?
It's very similar to Tulpe, except we had a football team.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, you do have a football team.
Did have a football team. Do have a football team.
Yes.
Not did. It's still active, last I checked.
And that would have been just a couple of months ago.
Would have been. I think we're going to have some.
Okay, we gotta go this way. Hold on, turn back around. Come on.
Eventually, I'll be able to see the court here again in a second.
At some point.
There we go. Once again, the Muhls coming out pretty high energy in this zone. Malave will back off of Altamar just a little bit. Try to give some support down to Gisa, at least make him think twice, especially as McCoy steps in front of him. Gisa. And we're going to have a foul here called against Berks Catholic. If it's on Welker, that's number 3. Snip Esterly not happy about it. Oye will come in. Just looking for some decisive passing around this 2-3 zone is what they're looking for. Need to know where you're going and be precise with it. Look at that backdoor cut for Hemmings, and it goes off his hands out of bounds. That was a fantastic look trying to catch the Saints napping on the inbounds. Hemmings, it's been a quiet day. Just 4 points for him, but it's been a quiet day for Kingston McCoy as well. He has just 4 points, all scored in the third, and we're going to have a travel called on Harper. Snip not happy, think that maybe he got tied up on the way through, but still a possession of said ball. It's just not joint possession. Can't travel even if you have a jump ball like that. Armstrong pulls up, jumper. That one off to the left, and Miller will tip it out of bounds. Tell you what, the Muhls have been really active on the offensive glass as well this evening. Mikey Miller, certainly a spark plug. Hasn't been able to score any points so far, but he has been active, that's for sure. Trying at the strip there, and Miller called for the personal. Mikey, that's number 1. And it's a good call. Mikey coming after it like he was still playing football, his safety position. That was like a backside strip that time. Just coming down with a big old chop. Yeah, it was a foul for sure. Hemmings picks off the inbound pass. Over to Armstrong, who lays it in. Armstrong in transition now has 11. Malave leads all Muhls with a dozen. McCoy has had Hemmings draped on him a large portion of the night just by virtue of where he's been at in this zone. Now they're trying to move him. You know, and great job by Kingston's trying. He's out there trying his best, and this one will get pumped up ahead to him. He has to wait for the defender to roll past. And now he's got 6. Miller, left corner 3. Was it cherry picking? Maybe a little bit. But that was by virtue of Kingston McCoy going 1v2, trying to go up and make an effort to grab an offensive board. He's really been all over the place. And even if he's not scoring, he is certainly out there doing everything that he can. And that's something that you have to be really delighted by if you're Snip Esterly, and especially if you're Colgate watching his tape, being like,
right?
Oh, hey.
Right?
Look, that's a really good thing. And it shows the maturity of Kingston, too, because it's very easy that when things are not going your way, especially on the offensive side of the basketball, that you are finding other ways to contribute. And he's still out here in the fourth quarter, 5:42 left, down by 5, still going one man against everyone, trying to grab offensive boards, trying to dive on the floor for loose balls. I mean, he's really out there trying to will this team back into this contest. And it's a contest that they've largely been behind. It was the exact opposite when we were in Muhlenberg. As Berks Catholic came out, Kingston hit a 3 to start. Berks Catholic never looked back in that 14-point victory. This evening, it's been a little bit different as the Muhls came out first, and Kingston, nice backdoor cut that time to give him 8. Leads down to 3. Just a one-possession game at this point with over 5 to play in the fourth. If you thought the Muhls were going to run away with this, you haven't watched a lot of Berks basketball this year. Even that contest in Laureldale was nip and tuck at some points. The Muhls trailed from the opening tip, basically, but they did claw back to within, I believe, at least a 2-possession game, as Armstrong won't get it to fall, but he will go to the stripe for the second time tonight. Justin, LJ, whatever you want to call him, shooting 2 at the stripe. It's the first.
You know, Ryan, I don't even know. What is the LJ? Is it Little Justin? Is it
I
Justin
don't know.
Jr.?
I'm pretty sure it's not Little Justin.
No?
I don't know. Maybe he's a big fan of Larry Johnson. He's the original LJ. That's like right in the sweet spot of my basketball hoop fandom is mid-90s Charlotte Hornets for some reason. Pretty sure I just like the colors. I like the teal and purple.
Is that how you pick horses at the track, too?
It's not how I would pick horses at the track. Mikey Miller called for the personal. Believe it or not, I don't really bet. Yes, I'm involved in sports. Yes, I enjoy sports. Do I like betting on sports? I mean, I won $650. I won $650 in my work fantasy league. I won that this year, so that's about the most betting that I'll do. Cleared about $500 doing that. Harper out top, trying to fling it to Altamar, and it's going to be deflected by the Muhls out of bounds. Altamar will take it just to the left of the basket here on the baseline. Pink shoes and all for Brady. Johnny Giesa back into the contest as well. He's hounded by Armstrong. It's the tallest and shortest player on the court matched against each other, and now they'll finally make a switch with this zone defense. Hemmings takes abuse. Offensive foul called on Giesa. Hemmings. Once again, you talk about things not going well on the offensive side of the basketball. Eli Hemmings, their leading scorer, 16.7 points per game, just 4 points here tonight. But taking the charge on a crucial possession, up by just 5. And that's the type of leadership that you're looking for out of your junior and senior leaders on your team. Great job by Hemmings keeping his head in it, even on the defensive end when things aren't going right. Collado into the paint, left hand gets it. Collado waiting until the fourth to make his presence known, his first bucket. McCoy a three. McCoy won't get it to go. And then stepping on the end line while making contact was Welker. Kingston McCoy had 7 threes against the Mules the last time that they met. Bupkis here tonight.
Defense, right?
As such, it is a 7-point lead. And yeah, he has not made any contested shots. Most of his shots have just been, either cherry picking or easy layups. All 3 of his buckets from the field have just been easy layups. He has not made a contested shot this evening, but he was making them in spades the last time that they met as Armstrong got it and one. Let me tell you what, this kid, smallest player on the court at any given moment, not lacking in heart.
Your pen stinks.
Pretty sure, yeah, that one was dead. I don't know why you tried the Sharpie one. This one's been kind of dead. Are you trying that? Nine-point advantage now for the Mules. Still time to move for the Saints. Harper thinking 3, dribbles in, drops it to Gisa. Gisa with the right hand, his first bucket of the quarter. Give him 9.
Full.
And a full timeout here for Snip Esterly and the Saints. Comes with 2:43 left and a 3-possession game right now between these two sides. Well, it's only 8:33, which means that Boombox Bingo is still going on out at Birdie's, believe it or not.
Birdie's.
And if you're into bingo, not into Boombox Bingo, I don't even know what Boombox Bingo is, but I'm sure it's music-themed bingo.
Yeah, I don't know how you would make that happen, but some genius has come up with the idea.
And you can only find it at Birdie's.
It's the only place I ever heard of it.
It's the only place that you can find the best burgers in Berks as well.
Just had
for
one last night.
For over 180 years, they've been slinging food over there at 5 Points in Exeter. Come taste why they won the 2025 Best Bar Food Award. I have no idea who gave that out. Hopefully it's not a self-awarded award.
It is not. I believe it was Berks Living Magazine.
Well, there you go. They love their hand-pressed burgers, their house-smoked kielbasa. That is a 200-year-old recipe. The kielbasa itself is not 200 years old, which is great. But kick back at their newly updated bar. Stay cozy on their heated year-round deck. They got live music, trivia, wings every night. Tomorrow you get Nicole Stump returning to the deck from 7 to 10, and then Saturday night, cooler full of beer from 7 to 10 as well. You can find Birdies at 160 Old Friedensburg Road in 5 Points in Exeter. Have fun. Be kind. Malave stripped from behind. McCoy has it stripped away as well. Nice job there by Mikey Miller. Once again, playing free safety. Taking a big old swipe, causing the fumble. Once again, dare I say it, Kingston McCoy would have just been a layup. McCoy firing, not getting it to go. Faith Zudi into the contest. His first minutes here for the Saints. He'll have Hemmings. Armstrong. Trying to look down low, I believe, for Malave again. And we're going to have a foul here on the floor. And that was the last Saints foul to give. It's going to be 2 at the stripe. And oh, by the way, that's Brady Altamar. That's number 5. Oh, yeah, we'll check in for him. Altamar's day is finished. He hit a 3 in the first quarter, and that's all she wrote. He's had a rough go of it so far. Frustrated, takes a seat on the bench. Muhlenberg shooting 2. He's been quiet here in the fourth, but he has buckets from the floor in all 3 quarters. Now as the Baker's dozen. Extends that lead back to 8. It's been as many as 9 here for the Mules, or at least in the second half. They finished up the first half up by 11 as Muhlenberg hits both. 3-possession game, 2:05 left here as the Mules looking to pull the upset. Snag a 2-a tie atop Berks 1. Just under 2 to play as McCoy, another bucket underneath. Another layup for him. He now has 10. Welcome to double figures. They're across midcourt. Armstrong trying to dribble through traffic, and Oye will be called for the personal. Armstrong back to the line, shooting 2. Armstrong attempts number 6 and 7. Hits his 5th from the stripe. Mules still with 2 fouls to give. Armstrong won't complete both. The lead stands at 8. McCoy picking up his dribble, needs to give it away. Looking for McCoy. McCoy slams it home. That'll get the home crowd up and off their feet, but still a 6-point lead for the Mules. Armstrong will now be doubled. They'll need to start quick passing around. Looking for Miller in the low block. They cough it up ahead to Harper. Harper got it and one. And once again, that is Kingston McCoy. Kingston McCoy with the rebound at one end, the outlet to the other end, up ahead to Harper, and Harper finishes at the bucket. It's really what it comes down to. Kingston McCoy, not his finest outing. All of his buckets have come from in the paint. All of his buckets have been within about a foot of the basket. The Saints still trying to weather that storm. Down by just 4. Still down by 4. McCoy grabs the board. He'll go to the line for 2. Gonna have a timeout taken here by head coach Matt Flowers. As they try to settle their guys down here before the free throws are taken. 59.1 seconds left. They can trim it to just a 2-point game here, Jer.
Very well might, too, with who's stepping to the line.
We're never quite done in these games, are we?
But you know what? This is the way it should be. They should be tight. They should go down to the wire. These are, without question, 2 of the best teams in Berks.
I don't like calling blowouts. I don't know if you know this. I get really bored calling blowouts. I do.
I do. I see you doing your fantasy football picks from time to time.
Listen, I cleared $500 on my fantasy football, so clearly something I was doing was working.
You're much better when you're in the game, when there's a game. You're awesome when there's a game. You keep everybody in.
And again, it's been fun to watch Kingston because he really is, like, I'm not even going to mince words or even try to, like, oh, well, you know, gee, oh, what about this person? What about that guy? No. Kingston McCoy is the best player in Berks County right now, hands down, bar none. There's no comparison. So to watch him just kind of be frustrated on the offensive end, but still just do the little things, and even now, he still made his way to 12 points, make it 13. He is 9 here in the fourth quarter. Jaden Perez will check in for the Mules, adding a little bit of muscle. McCoy hits both. 41-39. Hemmings, Miller, and Muhls in the backcourt. Get it ahead to Armstrong. Armstrong fouled. Elzanoye will send Armstrong to the stripe. Looking to push this back to a two-possession game. So you can hear the BC crowd over here. This is the first. Now can at least make it a three-point game with 50 seconds left. Both teams, 3 timeouts apiece. This is going to be a very slow 50 seconds, I would anticipate.
Yeah.
Can't go home with those timeouts. Armstrong hits the second half. Thinking about the corner. Gisa trying to get to McCoy. McCoy with Armstrong in his face. Gisa at the elbow. Harper a three. Well, Mules fans, time to buckle up. 26.2 seconds left. Head coach Matt Flowers taking a timeout. Or actually, I think it might be BC who took the timeout here. The timeouts left showing just 2 for the Saints. So I think Snip trying to get his defense settled in. Matt Flowers will say thank you very much. Don't have to use one of my timeouts on the offensive end.
Ryan, I was just showing the crowd. We couldn't fit another person in here with a shoehorn.
It's pretty packed over there.
Yeah, man.
All the Berks Catholic fans, at least their student section.
Muhlenberg side's full too.
Muhlenberg's side is also full, but they are dead silent here as they've watched an 11-point halftime lead evaporate.
Yeah.
Largely on the back of Kingston McCoy, who, once again, you just can't discount. You just can't. Best player in Berks, going to Colgate. He's a D1 commit. Berks Player of the Year, All-State selection. He'll be back there again this year without any doubt. He'll be an All-State selection. Likely Berks Player of the Year. Muhls gets across midcourt. Nice job by him pulling back up. But he'll be hounded this entire time. Man-to-man defense by Berks Catholic. It'll be holding for one. As Muhls just going side to side. 5 seconds left. Muhls driving to Miller. It goes off Miller, out of bounds. .1 seconds left. Snip Esterly will take a timeout, and there's going to be time for one last effort by Berks Catholic. 30-second timeout taken here by Snip as he wants to get the ball, I would assume, in Kingston McCoy's hands. If he's not using Kingston McCoy, then it's certainly going to be Carmelo Harper. May just use McCoy as a decoy. With how his night has gone, he hasn't hit a three all night. So you can go either way, and we'll see which way that Snip decides to go with it. Either trust your best player to make what is likely going to be a really tough contested shot. They're going to try to double team him right out of the break. We'll see if McCoy's going to be the guy inbounding. I highly doubt it. You want the ball in his hands. Ryan Hutchinson will check in. given some length to try to take on McCoy, and he goes right up to him, arms raised. Gisa with the inbound, 2.1 seconds. Trying to get it towards midcourt. Snip Esterly throws his clipboard to the ground, and we may have a 5-second violation. They're going to have to double check it, but I think they've got one. Muhlenberg takes a full timeout. Let me tell you, if there's anywhere on this court that you cannot commit a 5-second violation, if you're Berks Catholic, it's underneath the gosh darn basket.
Your opponent's basket.
My gosh. If you just don't have it, you got to chuck it in. You can't give the ball back to Muhlenberg underneath their basket with 2.1 left.
That's enough time.
That's more than enough time. And they're going to take it underneath the basket.
Update from Rifton. Exeter leads William Penn 67-46.
Rifton, a real place.
With 6.5 to go in the fourth.
I'd say that one's pretty well in hand. This one is not.
Tom Legath told me today that helps their playoff picture because it's a 6A school, William Penn. Back to this one.
You're going to have Jaden Perez inbounding. He's got some soft touch, and he's got a really nice passing touch as well. He'll do the inbounds. You're probably looking for something underneath. Hemmings, turnaround, jumper for the win. Free basketball, everybody. Maybe I won't see my kids tonight.
It was a nice thought.
It was a nice thought, wasn't it?
It sure was.
Watching this again, just shorts it, has an open look. I mean, if you're the Muhls, you're trying to get it inbounded. And that's your primary concern, is just trying to get the ball inbounds. That's problem number one. Problem number two is where are you going to be taking that shot? I think it was the right move. You inbound it, you have Hemmings in the paint. Do I agree with the turnaround floater? Probably not. I think that you have an opportunity there that close to go up strong. But he had an open look, took it, just didn't work out in their favor. 4 minutes up on the board, 42 all. Free basketball. This game deserves it.
Oh, absolutely.
This game deserves it.
Absolutely.
Kingston McCoy, 10 points in that fourth quarter. He now has 14. Harper with the biggest game-tying three of his life right now. He has 16 to lead BC. Gisa with 9. Altamar fouled out with 3.
Folks watching at home are getting their money's worth.
Well, of an opening tip here for overtime. Gisa won it, tipped it to Miller, who loses the handle. It goes to Harper. McCoy finds a little bit of space, hits it. And we're going to have a foul here on the floor. And remember, the fouls carry over here. I believe it's going to be on Zudi. The fouls carrying over means Eli Hemmings going to the foul stripe for chances number 4 and 5. Takes a big, deep breath. You can see that all the way across the court over here. The release of the shoulders. Swishes the first one through. Second one shorted. Ball still loose. Ends up to Malave, and Malave foul going back up. carbon copy of what happened down here at this end when McCoy grabbed the offensive board and foul going back up. We get the same thing in overtime except for the Muhlenberg perspective. Malave to the stripe. Malave has 14. Misses the first. Second upcoming here for Malave. Malave, 45.5% free throw shooter. They really use one of two, and they get it. He's 3 of 4 this evening. Give him 15. They're going to give him 17 up on the board, it looks like. Maybe I missed one somewhere. McCoy is hounded all the way around the court. Gisa with the left hand leaves it short. Offensive board swatted away by Hemmings. Back to McCoy. McCoy driving baseline, nowhere to go. Harper into the corner. Oye has it. Got some basketball here this evening, folks. McCoy and Hemmings, they've been going after it all night. They'll draw each other here in the zone. Gisa out to Harper. Harper steps in. Thought that Oye was going to be driving baseline. Oye stayed in the corner. Tossed out of bounds.
Refs are letting him play, Ryan.
Harper giving a swat to Harper, letting him know he'll get it next time. All tied up at 44. .230 left. That one left short by Hemmings. McCoy once again the board. Gavin Welker, better late than never on the scoreboard. And BC with what I believe may be their first lead of the game by at least 2 points. Armstrong swatted away. Miller grabs the board. Should I say second lead of the game. They've led here in overtime. Malave looking to back down. Malave loses the handle. Hutchinson will check in for defense and length. Matt Flowers will take a timeout, 30-second variety with 1:47 left here in the fourth. Whoo boy, coming in for a landing, folks. 46-44, Saints on top now. And they came back from a 11-point halftime deficit. Scored just 2 points in the second, 12 in the entire first half. They're able to claw their way back into this.
Very impressive. Not merely impressive.
Minute 47 remaining here in the first overtime. Muhls coming out, hounding into half-court pressure, and McCoy turns it over ahead to Hemmings. Hemmings will have to go up. He's swatted by McCoy, but I think they're going to say that he got him with the body. Some ref you suck chants.
I believe they got told about it too, Ryan.
Yeah. PC, they're staff none too happy about the chanting here as Hemmings misses the first.
With the priest standing in front of us.
He doesn't look like somebody who would yell, "Ref, you suck," just by
really
looking at him.
Not.
Looks more like Jim Parsons.
He looks very much like he would say, "Ref, I wish you would reconsider that call."
It's an ecumenical matter.
Yes.
That's a Father Ted reference, by the way. Another Brit. Never mind. Hemmings, 1 of 2. That's barely even British. That's more Irish. Ever seen Father Ted?
Have not.
All right, it's another must-watch. Minute 23 left. Oh, yay. Left hanging, grabs his own offensive board, able to get it back out, and BC with a 1-point advantage. Nearly had it poked away by Hemmings. Once again, active hands on defense, and Hutchinson holding on to Kingston McCoy will send him to the stripe. Hutchinson will come back here to get his verbal lashings from Matt Flowers. I don't think he was happy about him getting beat off the dribble like that and then needing to reach and grab Kingston on his way past, trying to hold him back and sending him to the line for 2. Once again, going offense for defense. Jaden Perez checking back in. McCoy hits both. He now has 18, all coming after halftime. 3-point advantage for the Saints. Muhls have not really had much going from beyond the arc, and Hemmings not going to start now. BC working it ahead, get it to McCoy. McCoy fouled by Hemmings. McCoy about to hit his scoring average almost after halftime. You weren't going to keep him down for very long. I hate to break it to everyone. I'll tell you the other thing that's going to go relatively unnoticed is the fact that Kingston McCoy, perfect from the foul stripe so far. Am I hoping that I get an announcer's curse? Absolutely. Won't happen. Kingston McCoy has gone there. He's 8 of 8. He's an 82.3% free throw shooter, and he now has 20. Armstrong dribbling it off his foot. Ball still loose. Malave, pretty sure that was a double dribble. Armstrong got barreled into as he lost the ball, dribbled it off his foot, got plowed into through the loose ball. No foul called there. Armstrong and Altamar exchanging a little shoulder shrugs, bumping into each other here. Saints now with a 5-point lead and 40 seconds left.
Boy, oh boy.
We're certainly witnessing something here.
Yeah.
Kingston McCoy, you can see that 20 spot up there on the board. Or at least you could if we were.
Adjust it, Ronnie. Go ahead. Okay, good job.
There you go. Now you can see that he's 20 points up on the board.
Thank you.
16 for Carmelo Harper. Yeah, it's mostly been Kingston McCoy here at the charity stripe. Again, an 82.3% free throw shooter. Is this exact? Probably not. But again, you talk about the growth of Kingston McCoy. Freshman year, shot 50%. Last year, shot 74.8%. This year, His sophomore year shot 50%. This year, 82.3%. He was 11 of 13 back on February the 4th. This is not the first time that he's been able to do it. Hutchinson called for the personal. He's trying to plead his case that he barely touched him. There was enough contact there. McCoy back.
Works, right?
Yeah, McCoy back to the line. Nine of 9. He's an 80% free throw shooter here at home. Supposedly. Although none of that for his career. That makes a lot more sense. This year, 87.5, and he finally misses when, he grabs the rebound. And McCoy will be fouled again. At neutral sites, he's a 92.9% free throw shooter this year. That's going to come in handy come playoff time.
One would think.
Hits the first. 22 for the senior. This is like the opposite of that. I don't know if you ever watched, it wasn't Growing Pains. So he rattles home the second. The Wonder Years, when they go and see a high school basketball game and the kid's incredible for the first half and then comes out, doesn't score a single point in the second half, and they lose. This is like the polar opposite of that TV show right now.
Took him a second to get started.
That's a deep pull, by the way. I don't even know how I remember that. Armstrong.
Yeah, in mid-90s.
Armstrong to the line.
Because I don't know if you're aware, but Fred Savage is like 207 years old now.
He's older than the recipe at Birdie's.
Older than the burger recipe.
Older than the kielbasa recipe at Birdie's. That's impressive from Fred Savage. Second one won't go, and we're going to have a travel here called on BC. We're not dead yet. As Gisa had it, immediately put on skates, stepped out of bounds. Perez needs some help, finds Miller underneath. Miller can't finish, and that will do it. It was a slow, steady drip for the Muhls. Their offense just has not really been there tonight, and once the defense started breaking down here a little bit in the second half, that was about all she wrote. As BC has come alive here, Harper hits the first. 9 for Kingston McCoy here in overtime. He has 23. They have a dozen here in the extra stanza, compared to just 4 for the Muhls. All coming from the stripe as Miller airballs, and that'll really do it. 54-46 your final. They come back from an 11-point deficit at halftime.
To win by 8.
To win by 8.
That is a 19-point turnaround. More math.
Largely on the back of Kingston McCoy, who finishes above his average with 23. Most of which coming from the stripe. Again, he had 6 buckets from the field.
Mm-hmm.
All of them inside the paint, virtually all of them layups, which is incredible. The rest coming from the charity stripe. He had 12 points from the field, 11 from the stripe. And BC yelling, "Start the buses." Snip Esterly getting into it with the crowd a little bit, high-fiving some fans.
That was a great victory.
Was a great victory for him. There's Mike Drago. He's going to go stalk Snip back to the locker room, I think.
He's not covering basketball.
He is tonight, maybe. At least not for MikeDragoSports.com.
Oh.
Football only. Just here as a fan, maybe.
He might just be here as a fan.
Might just be here as a fan.
Because, I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but other media outlets have discovered the Muhls somehow. Ryan, we're here all the time.
Well, it was the best game in Berks this evening. And for good reason.
Yeah.
Justin Armstrong leading the way here for the Muhls. He finishes with 18. Nelson Malave went a little cold in the second half here. He finishes with 15. Eli Hemmings never really able to get started on offense. He contributed just 6 points this evening. Jaden Perez with 2. Josh Miller with 3. And Jeffrey Collado with 2 from the field as well. And again, Berks Catholic, man, oh man, it was just, they had to scratch and claw their way back into this one. They outscored Muhlenberg by 6 in the third. They outscore him by 5 in the fourth, including a clutch 3 from Carmelo Harper that tied the game. Thought that the Muhls were going to have a chance. They had a final possession. That was a wild ending to regulation as well. They had a final chance. Ball in their hand. Assuming, all right, you got one play left. They turn it over with 2.1 seconds left. Berks Catholic called for a 5-second violation underneath the Muhlenberg basket. They turn it back over to the Muhls. Eli Hemmings gets the inbound. Turnaround jumper is short at the buzzer. We go to overtime. And Kingston McCoy, again, mostly from the foul stripe. Those fouls carry over from the fourth into overtime. It's a lot of shooting, just free throws in the double bonus, and he took advantage. 4 points in the third, 10 in the fourth, and then he finishes with 9 in overtime. 19 points in the last 12 minutes of play. Not too shabby there from Kingston.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's about it.
Make that point. Make the case.
That's about it. That's about it. Kingston McCoy, easily the best player here in Berks, without fail. And you got to see exactly why. You got to see at the first contest where he dropped a 40-piece on him, and you got to see 23 points after halftime. Need a little bit of extra time to get there, but he was finally able to get started there in the third and then continued rolling. Could not find much from the field. Honest to God, he struggled shooting. Did not have a 3. He had 7 against him the first contest. None this evening. Just finding ways to contribute. He did that the entire first half. He found ways to figure it out in the second half as well. And then eventually he started getting some easy looks. Started, sure, maybe cherry picking a bit, but that was by virtue of him going after offensive boards and being really aggressive, just trying to contribute in any way possible. And as a result, BC turning that one around and winning by a final score of 54-46.
Kingston just got in there and, grinded it out.
Pretty much.
Until which point, as he found his stroke.
And the thing is, didn't really have much help. Kingston McCoy, 23 points. Carmelo Harper, 17. Johnny Gisa with 9. And then it was Brady Altamar fouling out with 3 points and Gavin Welker with 2. That was it. Primarily 40 points on the backs of Carmelo Harper and Kingston McCoy. Harper had 4 points in the first half, came alive in the second as well. He had 12 after the break, 13 if you include overtime for his 17 points. And really, it was those two players just causing fits for the Muhls. And, to be quite honest, the Mules offense just wasn't there this evening as well. The defense most certainly was, holding Berks Catholic to 12 points in the first half, just 2 in the second quarter, but then giving up 30 points after the break, giving up 10 in overtime, and, giving up a dozen in overtime, and that was really about it. So unfortunately for the Mules, that will likely put an end to the Berks 1 dreams, and instead catapult Berks Catholic to 9-1 within divisional play. They're not done yet. They still have a second game against Reading coming up. They have Muhlenberg tomorrow. They have Reading on Saturday, 3:30 start time, at least for what we're assuming is varsity, but they will be hosting Reading right here at Lloyd Wolf Gymnasium.
Should be a good one.
Should be a good one. Reading will now have a chance there at the number 1 spot in Berks 1. So best of luck to them. But they also have Wilson Friday night. They're at Wilson at Berks Catholic here Friday, Saturday. If you're Reading, oh boy, that's a heck of a back-to-back there scheduled.
Yeah,
nice
really
job,
is.
schedule makers.
It really is.
They're really, really tough back-to-back. But if you lose to Wilson, you're kind of out of it. If you beat Wilson, then it is going to be roughly a winner-take-all type of situation here where they can tie Berks Catholic atop of Berks 1 and have a shot at it. But for the Mules, that dream has pretty much come to an end as they fall to 7-3 within the division. Still up for BCIAAs, still very much in the mix here. If you take a look at where the Mules currently stand in district playoff fashion, they are ranked 3rd right now in the district in 6A boys. They're right behind Central Dauphin and Central York, and then the Mules at number 3. They may slip a little bit after this. They have Red Lion right on their heels, Cedar Cliff right on their heels, all those Mid-Penn and York Adams kind of nipping there. But as for right now, the Mules still sitting not too shabby here for Class 6A. Reading sitting right behind him there at 6, Wilson at 8. But again, this won't do too terribly much. Berks Catholic, not going to damage all that much when it comes to strength of schedule by virtue of them being a really doggone good basketball team. But the Mules, again, falling to 14-5, 7-3 in divisional play. Meanwhile, Berks Catholic, they will continue to sit atop of the Class 4A boys power rankings. They've improved to 16-2, 10-1 within the division. And they have Bishop McDevitt nipping at their heels, as well as Susquehanna. McDevitt 16-1, Susquehanna is 15-3, so they needed this win as well. That will most certainly keep them atop of Class 4A with some room to spare in an impressive victory against a 6A team in Muhlenberg. That'll serve them very, very well in their playoff picture moving forward. But as for us, we got one more game, Jerry.
We got one more
We
game
have
Monday
one
night.
more game on the docket. And that will be next Tuesday night as Muhlenberg will play Wilson. That is essentially their final game here of the regular season for not only for the Mules, but also for us, as we will not be continuing into playoff fashion. They do have Wilson on Tuesday, they have Twin Valley Wednesday, and CD East, all of those away, but their last home game coming up here on Tuesday. But they'll still be sitting pretty for both BCIAA. They'll be doing really well for districts as well, but tonight just didn't have enough gas in the tank to last not only 4 quarters, but 4 quarters plus a round of overtime.
You start off so well with the defense, and then, again, what did we say at halftime? The coach on the other end, he always finds a way.
Finds
the
a
reason
way.
why he has, 8,472 victories?
Something like that.
Yeah,
I
it's
think that's
close,
the
right?
exact number. Yeah.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
It's at least like 900, isn't it?
It's up there. It's
It's
over
like
800.
way in the eights.
It's up there.
Yeah.
I didn't exactly pin that to my my game notes, but yeah, it's up there.
It's got to be 840, 850.
But the Mules, not an awful lot of time to lick their wounds. They do have a weekend to think about it, work through it, and then coming right back against Wilson. That is going to be an equally as tough game for them. It was a really great contest the first time around at Wilson. Big comeback victory here for the Mules. We've seen the best of times. We've seen the worst of times with these nip and tuck games. We'll hopefully see a really good one on Tuesday. About a 7:30 start time for us as they take on the Wilson Bulldogs right here on the Mules Sports Network.
Oh, wait, that's Tuesday, not Monday.
It is, well, it was
The 3rd.
Tuesday according to both PA D3 Hoops and my Google
the
Calendar.
3rd. Okay,
So it would be the 3rd.
All right.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I don't show up Monday.
Don't show up Monday, and don't show up to Ole either.
Inside joke.
But again, tough one for the Mules. They'll lick their wounds and recalibrate and be back on Tuesday, which we will have right here for you against Wilson on the Mules Sports Network. So thank you to Birdies for sponsoring us as always. Thank you to Jerry for putting it all together. And thank you to Berks Catholic for hosting us, of course. We used to be here. No longer am, but they still make a place for us at our old stomping grounds here, and especially up here. Get to sit away from people a little bit. Also get a lot of the energy from the BC student section sitting here in this corner.
Yep.
I would rather sit up here than sit down at mid-court with the rest of the media.
Who have just discovered Muhlenberg. Kudos to Bill Hess for getting us, our spot. I contacted Bill a few weeks ago, sent him an email. He's like, of course, Jerry, just get here, man. And they're good people here. They are good people. We appreciate them so much.
Thrilled to be here. But that will do it for our time. Thank you, everyone, for listening in. We'll be back on Tuesday, about 7:30 start time again. But for this one, 54-46, your final score. The Mules drop a heartbreaker. Had this one in hand at the halftime break and just unable to finish. But some unfinished business for them that they'll look to rectify on Tuesday right here on the Mules Sports Network. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll see you then.